Hello adult ballet dancers, I'm Natasha Cornell and this is my channel, Loved Ballerina. Thanks for joining me. In this video I want to talk about beginning, really just starting when you want to start adult ballet classes, but you're still in that process where you don't know what's going on, and I want to help you with that because I know it can be super scary because it's not something that a lot of people still do, and it's intimidating. It's like when you talk to your friends about it, they're probably gonna be like, what? You wanna do ballet? Why? So I created some tips and tricks, little helpful hints that you can use. So let's get to it. Hint number one. Do your research. Find a studio. Find a studio that's hopefully close to where you live. At least, I would say less than an hour drive is probably ideal. If you live in a big city, this will be no problem. But if you live in a smaller town, that might be a little bit of a problem. But make sure that is in an area that you can drive to without feeling like it's too much of a chore, because that will help you stay consistent in attending. From personal experience, I know that when I attended classes that were farther than an hour away, it became really complicated to fit into my life. Number two, please make sure that before you go to class, you learn the basic terminology used in ballet class. Even if you danced as a kid, you probably forgot most of the things. So just take a little refresher. It's super easy. You can go to my website, transcendnormal.com/adultballet, and you can find the resources there, the basic positions, and there's other great websites you can go to. There is adultballetcollective.com. There is quite a few, really. I'm gonna include some links below in the show notes. That way, if you learn the very basics, you won't be having to concentrate on that while you're in class. So you will feel a lot less like, deer in the headlights, confused. You will be just more focused on actually the class itself. So doing that little bit of research before you go is going to be very helpful for your self-confidence and feeling like, okay, I can do this, because otherwise it can be a very overwhelming experience. The next thing is shoes. Yes. Oh my God, shoes. How'd you go there? So, ballet shoes. Do you need ballet shoes to start a ballet class? Yes and no. You can definitely show up to an adult ballet class without ballet shoes, and you can just, be barefoot or wear socks. But my personal advice is get the shoes. Look, ballet shoes are only like $25. And I'm talking about like soft type shoes, not point shoes. You will need those for a long time. I'm gonna include a link to my favorite in the show notes if you wanna check it out. It will make you feel so much more confident and you'll be able to turn so much better. So why not, if you are considering doing a ballet class, I'm sure you're not considering doing it just once. It's probably going to be something you want to do more than once. So $25 investment is totally worth it if it's going to make the experience that much better. Do you have to? No, but will it make your experience better? Absolutely. So yeah, get the shoes. Come on. It's totally worth it. My number 4 tip is please start in the beginner's level class. Most of the adult classes that you go to, they will have a couple of different levels. There's probably going to be an adult intro beginner level, and then there's going to be an intermediate level and maybe an advanced level. Even if you danced as a kid, you're better off just going to the beginner's class your very first time. And this is for the sake of your ego and your self-confidence. Because yes, you will, if you danced before as a kid, you will improve a lot faster as an adult. But for the very first time ever, please don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to not know what's going on and feel lost, and that's just going to feel discouraging. So just go to the very beginner's level class you can find, and then you will start remembering. If you're completely new to ballet, then definitely go to the beginner's class. Don't even try. I don't care if you're like superstar hip hop dancer or contemporary dancer, just don't do it, because then you'll feel like, I mean, you're probably gonna feel like that anyways the first time, but still, in the beginner's class, you're much more likely to feel more comfortable. So yeah, tip number 4 is that beginner's class first. If you feel like that's not enough, you will progress, and then you can take other classes that are more advanced. But don't rush through it, because if you go into an advanced class and you feel like it's too much, your brain is going to be like, oh no, this is terrible, this is scary, and then you might not want to come back. So stick with the beginner's class. Yeah? Okay. Next tip. Wear something nice. Yes, it's simple, but it's definitely important. You want to wear something that is adequate for ballet class, yet at the same time, if you don't feel comfortable in traditional like ballet attire, which is tights and a leotard, wear something that is adequate enough, but that you feel good in, that you don't feel too exposed. For example, a lot of adults in my classes wear black leggings and a fitted black workout top. You don't want to wear anything that's too baggy, because the teacher then won't be able to see the lines of your body, and she won't be able to correct you, or he, if your alignment is off. So as long as you're wearing like a regular workout attire that's somewhat form-fitting, that you feel good in, you're fine. Now, certainly, as far as I know, in most adult classes, you are very welcome to wear very traditional tights and leotards and leg warmers and maybe a skirt. And it's never, in adult classes, it's never mandatory. You don't have to. But after you go to classes for a while, it's something that you find, for my experience and my students' experience, something that makes you get more in the mood to dance better, to feel more like I'm dancing. Yeah, get in the zone. So a lot of the students start out wearing workout stuff, and then they transition to wearing more classical ballet type things. So that's an evolution. You don't want to push that. You definitely don't want to show up at your first class in pink tights and a leotard if it makes you feel stupid. So don't do it. Wear something nice, wear something that makes you feel pretty. That goes a long way, and that applies to not just adult ballet class. That applies to pretty much any kind of workout class that you do. So moving on to the next tip. Tip number 6. When you show up to your first ballet class, have no expectations. Please don't have expectations that just because you dance for 2, 5, even 10 years when you were young, that you're gonna be some kind of way. Just show up, be there, and accept that things might not be the way they used to be. Your body will remember definitely some things if you did it before. If you never did it, it's going to be a completely new experience. And just be present, enjoy it, embrace it. Know that it's a learning process. It's not something you can learn in one day or 1 week or a month. Know that the increments are very small, but they're very worth it. Like, every time you go to class, if you go consistently and you do the same exercise, every time it will be a little bit better. Maybe if you go Monday and then you go Wednesday again, you won't notice the difference between those 2 days. But then 3 weeks down the road, you will realize, like, hey, my arabesque is better, or my pliés are nicer, or my musicality has increased. So just let yourself be open to the experience, and don't go in there the first time expecting anything from yourself. Just go with it and accept that, it might not be like you see it in your mind, but the fact that you're there and that you showed up is the greatest thing of all. Tip number 7. Please try to make it to class at least twice a week. Now, I know not everybody can do this, and for some adults, once a week is all they can do. That's still good. You will still progress, but you will progress a lot faster if you come more than once a week. And this has to do with the training effect that applies in any form of exercise that you do, not just ballet. If you exercise only once a week, by the time that whole week goes by, basically your body and your brain kind of forget all the stuff that you learned. Those neural connections are not made. If you do it twice a week, then the first day of the week you are establishing those new neural pathways, and then the second day you're reinforcing them. By the time you come back around on the next week, day 1, the patterns that you created are still there, and they get reinforced some more. So that's like a very basic little neuroscience bit there about how that works. So yeah, once a week is just usually not enough to see serious progress. Still good, still definitely acceptable, but if you really, really want to progress, 2 or more times a week is what you want to do. If your goal is to just have fun and enjoy the musicality and the dancing and the stretching, then don't worry about it. Come as often as you want. But if you really want to see yourself progress, try to come at least twice a week. So that's my tip number 7. 7? Yeah, 7. And on that note, I guess this will be tip 7.A. Give it at least 3 months before you decide that, this is not something I want to do. The first 3 months you do something are usually very challenging time. Is when you probably are going to feel like you suck and that you don't understand anything, and it's really, really hard. And this is usually when most people quit because they just get discouraged. So have patience, give it at least 3 months, This is about how long it takes to create a habit of any sort. So if you stick with it for 3 months, even though you feel like, oh, I totally suck at this, then you will feel after those 3 months, magic is gonna happen. Like all of a sudden you're gonna be in class and you're gonna do a turn, or you're gonna do a tendu or something that usually you just felt completely awkward doing, and it's gonna look beautiful. And you're just gonna be like, oh, okay, well, maybe I can do this. So just give yourself that chance. Don't quit before 90 days at least. And for my last tip, you must have fun. I know it sounds super obvious, but seriously, adult ballet is something that is supposed to be fun. And that's the big difference between, that's for me, what I find most fascinating about adult ballet is that it's fun. You're not competing for a spot in the company. You're doing it for the exercise. You're doing it for the musicality, for regaining a connection with your inner child, your inner self, your inner dancer. So that has to be fun. Don't hate yourself because you mess up a combination. Just finish strong. That's the most important thing. When you're doing combinations, start strong, finish strong, enjoy yourself, and don't get down on yourself. That's one of the things that turns off a lot of young people from classical dance, is that it's so strict and so rigid. Yes, that's true. So they feel like if they're not good enough, then they should just not go on, and they quit. And I think I might have been one of those people. Maybe in the future I will explore more why I stopped. But when you are a returning adult dancer or a beginner adult dancer, you don't have to worry about that. Nobody's judging you in that way. Now, if you have a good teacher, they're judging you and they're giving you critiques every day that you come to class to make you better, but that's only for you. It doesn't have to be negative in any way. So have fun, enjoy. For example, in my class, what I do a lot of the times is at the end of class, before we do the reverence, we will have an ballet improv time where I will play something super classical, like a swan lake or a Don Quixote variation, and then I just tell the students, just go. Like usually I'll show them kind of like a classical version of that variation, either by doing it or in a video, and then I will tell them just feel like that character and just go. And it's amazing what happens when they actually do let themselves go and they have fun and they dance. So just do that. And if your class doesn't have a little improv part, then get that feeling during the combinations. Just feel your inner dancer rise. So that's it. That's all my tips for you, my adult ballet dancers. So you're probably wondering where I got my super cool shirt that says begin. That is so appropriate for my first YouTube video. Yay for beginning that. God, it's been like years since I wanted to do this, but finally I did it. So this shirt actually was made by somebody that's an adult ballet dancer. Her name is Emily, and she has a website and blog, and it's called Another Night at the Bar, and you can find her at Instagram at Another Night at the Bar official, I believe it is, all time. So I'm gonna put that in the notes that go underneath. Thank you so much for joining me on my first video. This has been such a great experience. This is like the first time I've sat and talked to a camera by myself. I have done a lot of fitness videos and some dance videos, but this is a completely new experience. And now that I've done it, I definitely can see myself doing it more. I love sharing what I know and what I experience with other people. So I think this is a great platform to do it. And I'm going to continue. I began, not continue. And please, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell over here, over there, I'm not sure. And yeah, just share with your friends, any other adult ballet dancers you know. If you have anything that you would like me to talk about or that you want me to comment on, please let me know as well in the comments. Just any way that you feel like we can connect and interact, I'm super open to it. Thank you guys so much. And yay, Love Ballerina video #1 in the books. Now we can go drink some wine.